how goes the art?
Well, I'm now looking at it.
That is important.
I guess the head may be too big.
Botrix says. Botrix has correctly joined the channel.
Definitely do not want this one looking too childish.
Makes sense. Frank, you still want to start back up Warhammer?
Yes.
Oh,
Alright,
okay. I started reading this one manhwa. It was beautiful because the main character was horrifically anti-orc. And everyone in the comments was calling him racist.
I mean, racism is fun in stories, though.
But it was just anti-orc. Because they were horrific beings that would kidnap female humans to procreate.
You know, I don't think that really counts as racism.
That's what I thought. Dude, dude goes into a dungeon where the mission is to side with one of the orc tribes and then defeat the other one. And he goes, "Hell nah, I'm just gonna kill both of them." And he accidentally triggers the secret, or the hidden quest, which is to summon the orc god and then defeat it, because the orc god was fucking angry because you killed both his tribes. But then the orc god, seeing who it was also like, hell nah, this dude has killed millions of orcs, I don't want to deal with him, goodbye.
Sounds like my Fallout New Vegas playthroughs. Oh, I'll side with the Legion this time to learn stuff about it. Nope, I just kill them all.
Red Bean Bitter Cream says.
Ooh. Hello, Red Bean Bitter Cream. How are you doing this night? So, I am alright. I'm being attacked in my sleep by the biters. I have not gone outside in 3 days. Yet I have itchy spots, and I'm thinking they're literally crawling in my clothes in my sleep. I'm being harassed.
What the kind of bugs?
Red Bean Bitter Cream says.
Hmm.
Oh no.
I mean, it's not like that. It doesn't feel the same as a mosquito bite, but it's very annoying. They kind of blister when you itch them. So I got a
Maybe
mixture
the
of
bugs.
bruises. I haven't even slept in my bed for 2 days straight.
It's a
Gotta
very
check.
good thing.
Gotta
Bed bugs
check
can be
my.
anywhere.
Yeah, gotta check my sofa chair for bed bugs. Or it's fine. It's fine.
Maybe ants.
Summer is ending. Soon everything that lives will be burned by the wonderful cold of snow.
We got like
How's your life
a
going?
month.
It's kind of strange. On one hand, snow means no more biking, but fuck, no more bugs.
It is true. I guess I've never really had to deal with bugs.
They're all just killed by the
Bugs in
power of the
Arizona
sun.
too.
No, it's not really like. I mean, okay, I've had to deal with bugs, but like, not really mosquitoes.
Glory be. I'm moving there
Because
tomorrow.
there's no water for mosquitoes. That's right.
It's true. There's a lot of water for them to lay eggs in.
You guys have like an inch of water per like everything.
I mean,
There's just 1 inch of water in total in your entire state.
like if you go up north, you get some mosquitoes. Really, not that many. Like you only get mosquitoes around bodies of water, and nowhere else.
Alright, I sent you the code.
Got all the lizards that eat the bugs. Getting a blister like on the very center of my thumb.
Dun,
That
dun, dun,
don't sound good.
dun.
Very small blister, but I burnt my finger and I guess it's blistering.
Red Bean Bitter Cream says. Is this the same character from the last stream in a different pose?
No, this is a different character. This is what I was working on last stream. I actually worked on it a bit off stream, so that's why the portrait is in a finished sketch state.
Oh, portrait looks very nice.
Thanks, I
Red Bean Bitter Cream
tried.
says. Oh wow.
I think I'm gonna have to reposition the arm. I don't know, like, oh, yeah, I might have to switch it to the
Red Bean
other
Bitter Cream
side or
says.
something like that.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, Red Cream, Bitter Cream. I just hope she gets me a lot of money. Hmm? Eh?
She's doing the look at my eyes thing.
I mean, that's my problem. Every single drawing, the character is looking at you in the eyes. But, like, where else are they gonna look?
No, I thought about that. I still think you should put the arm back so she's doing the look at my eyes.
Oh.
I'm watching you.
Oh, that's what. Okay. No, she was doing, like, a peace sign.
Yeah, it was just funny because when you rotated for a second, she had it up to her eyes, so it looked like she's like,
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. I see you. You're next.
Red Bean Bitter Cream says.
I think right here is okay. I don't know, I like her. I think she's okay looking menacing at the viewer right now. But I have a lot of different characters, so I'll get to try out a lot of different poses. If each one is like unique enough, I'll be happy. I don't want to get tired of drawing the same pose. What I hope for.
Try all the poses.
Oh yeah, I got this ad on Instagram for a modular couch that you can kind of like restructure to. Well, because really all it is.
Red Bean Bitter Cream says.
Oh,
Oh yeah, she does look. I'm
Taco.
just saying that is a possible different eye direction.
yeah. I see. I know what you
How
mean.
goes your army?
I'm just waiting for stuff to finish.
Wow, only $7,500 for this modular fucking couch. Never fucking mind. I will keep my $2,000 non-modular reclining couch that has at least USB charging ports. And okay, I don't never fuck this shit. Fuck this shit. What do you mean? How is 5 seats and 8 sides $7,500? Each
At that
seat
point,
is $1,000.
at that point, you might as well
Okay,
just get some
Taco.
really nice wood furniture.
I am gonna need help now.
Okay.
Is each seat a
The guy
technological
to your
marvel?
south. The guy to your south is at war with me now too. Help! I'm getting jumped.
I feel like if
Oh
you're gonna
shit!
spend
He's right
$7,000,
up my. He's right on me.
What, Taco? I can't hear you over Frank's screams.
Red Bean Bitter Cream
I feel
says.
like if you're gonna spend
Also, Breck, how dare you not read the rest of my
$7,000 couch,
message
you might as well
after the
get,
emote.
a nice custom-made wood couch that's gonna last fucking 3 generations.
Lord. Yeah, that's a quirk of a quirk of Brick. Alright, I gotta find the reference sheet for his feral form. 'Cause I plan on doing a little sketch of that on the side.
You're gonna have to wait one turn
Brother,
until I can move.
I'm getting starved out.
You're Nurgle. Figure it out. You have an army still?
They're like 5
Oh.
units strong apiece, brother.
How long is it gonna take me to get there? No, because
Red Bean Bitter
you
Cream
survive
says.
one extra turn.
So what are you listening to
So I
tonight?
finished recruitment.
Oh, this is an Ewu video that I'm listening to. Honestly, I just really like his voice. Can't say I'm paying too much attention to whatever grisly tale is being told. And when it's finished, I have some game reviews to listen to. Some chill background noise.
Allied recruitment? Oh shit, I don't have that yet. Do I have another turn left in me? Yeah, I got another turn. Holy shit.
Alright, now time to work at 2
Taco, how
chibis.
long is it gonna take?
I don't know until next turn.
Oh shit.
Red Bean Bitter Cream says. Oh, I don't like those kinds of stories.
Ah, that's unfortunate. I can see how, to some people, they might be quite uncomfortable. I prefer the fraud and scam stories. Or I prefer when, like, I honestly prefer it when the suspect is being belligerent or manipulative little shit. when they get taken in easy, it's just so boring. You did the crime, you might as well put up a fight, make it entertaining. Just go down without saying anything interesting. And it's interesting how the ones that commit the most grisly crimes when they're caught, a lot of the time they're just like, yeah, okay,
What is
I'll
he
go.
talking about? Hello?
Oh no, why don't you ask her?
I did. Ignored me.
I have Frank turned down to like 20% if he said something.
Damn.
Oh.
Why?
Your screaming
fuck
was
with
too
me.
distracting.
Well, sorry, I was getting jumped.
You gotta learn how to protect your booty.
Alright, it's gonna be.
There's an army right above you, Taco.
You want me to go after them, or do you want me to come save you?
Well, they fucked off of me.
Alright, well I'll go after them then. Next turn.
You just want to like raise their settlement. I'd be cool with that.
Turns over. Maybe we're just gonna buy this one's gonna get a lot of sketches. But you're doing 3 of them?
Talking to me?
Yes.
Yeah, so this one is gonna have the half body sketch, chibi feral, and then a chibi full body. Gonna have
A lot
3.
of sketches.
Yeah, well, hopefully he sells. Like I'm like my minimum is $1 for each of them, but like this one, it would be good. It would be pretty nice if it sold for at least 20.
Definitely seems like it'd be something that sells.
Well, you never know. The market is a fickle beast.
It's true. People are fickle beasts.
That's racist. You can't just go be calling people beasts, Taco.
Bro, that's kind of fucked up.
Is it racist if you call everyone something though?
And that's a okay. Is it racist if the protagonist of a story kills everyone that matches a certain like philosophy and doesn't care about their looks?
Oh, that's not racist. That counts as xenophobia? I don't think that counts as xenophobia.
What's the word for like religious death? Religious persecution?
I don't know.
A crusade? I don't know.
Sort of. It's not really crusade. Yeah, I'm getting jumped. I don't know if I want to manually fight this one or not.
What's it saying?
It's Pyrrhic victory, and I'll lose 1 patriarch.
What's a patriarch?
They're magic of some kind. I haven't actually used them, so I don't know.
Well, if you want to fight it, go ahead.
I feel like they might.
The Empire, they have guns. They got guns, and
Yeah, they got a lot.
I might take it. Might take the auto result or retreat.
They have 8 of them.
8 of them.
Plus a
Not
bunch
sure.
of halberds.
Choice is yours, Taco.
Think for a moment. We're gonna fight it.
It's just a lot of crossbowmen. I don't see many guns.
They've got another army.
Yeah, another army. I'm not scared of.
Wait, no, those are crossbowmen. They're not. Yeah, so I should be fine then. I don't know if they actually have any guns.
Ooh, shit! You're getting flanked and spanked.
I don't even get to see their army.
Yeah, they're attacking you. Ooh, they have the uphill advantage.
See for how long. Think about how I want to go about this.
There's this game in Horizon Forbidden West, and it's all about collecting different machine part figurines or machine figurines and then duking it out with other players. And there's all sorts of stuff like there's like different terrains and different machines have different buffs and different terrains, and there's also, you know, attacking from behind and surprise attacks and all sorts of shit.
Just a second, Frank.
And when I play that, I think I'm gonna stream and make you guys play it for me.
What game?
There's a game in Horizon Forbidden West called Machine Strike. You have to collect these figurines that represent the different you know, the different enemies in the game. And then you have to duke it out with the NPCs.
That sounds fun.
It's very complicated.
Paco,
Yes.
where are your patriarchs? I don't see a
I
unit
think-
called patriarchs.
I think I was over something else. Because I don't see him either. I was scrolling over the Kosars. That's what I was talking about. I'm not sure what I was actually having over. Just a minute, I'm getting my stuff figured out.
I would also send the. Actually, never mind. You got a lot of large cavalry. You got a lot.
Something went right in the art department with this game,
Do you
that's
have
for
any
sure.
anti-infantry?
Yeah, I remember
Standard
that.
infantry?
Alright, never
I would
mind,
put a
fun's over.
couple of those
So we head to the
guys
center of this
over
maze and watch Davrin
fight
try
their
to tickle an
reinforcements.
ogre for a while
That's not a bad
realizing
idea.
that the
I'll
only
probably
thing that
do-
companions
you
are
have
good
nothing
for in
but
this game are
large,
healing
and
you
I
while
wanna
you do all of the
send
work.
large into
Then we
their.
march into the war room and punch
pikeman.
Captain Bald straight in the head. The other wardens hear me out because warden couple from earlier tells
wanna
them
split
to
your
not
army
attack
too
the guy who
much, though.
literally just knocked out their leader.
We'll
Now, mind
sacrifice
you,
them,
Rook has no fucking plan
do that,
either.
and
He
a
just gives the
bow.
first warden CTE and then goes, "Alright, so what's up, guys? What do you have around here?" To which one of them goes,
That
"Well,
army's
we
not
have a
too
trap that
scary
was built
except
900
the,
years ago that was
flagellants."
specifically made to capture archdemons, but I don't know." Rook, with all of his 20 charisma and 1 intelligence, goes, "Oh yeah, that's perfect. Let's use that." A man of action is what he is. So we run and fight through set piece after set piece. You know, dragon attack, kill wardens, but not us. Turret section where
You
we
have your
wait for
war
ogre
sleds
to
and
reset
cavalry
so we
facing
can
the
shoot
other
again.
way.
Bell tower collapse when we get
fix
to
that.
it. Big tentacle come up, little girl save us. All your standard stuff. The entire way we get about
I'm gonna
5
have them
different
push to the
variations
hill.
of a conversation that recaps
Are
what
they
we
not
already know.
Fighting the
That's
other.
not a
Do you only
dragon,
have
it's
3
an
units
archdemon. We
fighting
can't
that
kill
whole
it
army?
without trapping it. We can't kill Gillenane
for
without
now,
killing the
I think.
archdemon.
I'm
I
trying
thought
to
you
think
were
Just to
of-
having
make sure that
this
everyone
cavalry
remembers throughout this
that you're having
20-minute
these guys
sprint.
fight.
We make it to where
Yeah,
the
those are
trap
gonna
is,
push the
some
hill
light to
and,
medium
flank
giggles
around.
are shared, and the little girl is returned to her dad.
Hope she wasn't too much trouble.
See, if the dad died and the girl had to be adopted by the Veil Guard, then there's a point to her existence. Right now, it's just a cheap, feel-good moment that doesn't make any difference to the plot beyond me wondering why this
had my
little girl
orc-
is
my
completely okay with
ogres over
all
there.
of this. Guess she's just built different.
Once this is over,
Hold off
there's
long
an
enough
old
and they need some
alluvian
more
here
support. I'll
that
send
could be
the
our escape.
cavalry down.
Ah, yeah, everyone knows about the Alluvians, what they do and how they function now. Definitely not ancient elven magic that was
Rasputin
only very
over here.
recently kept a complete secret by the Dalish, so much so that Corypheus was hunting for very specific locations
Alright,
where
let's
one
go
might
for
be housed. Now everyone has them
You want me to
everywhere and
take
knows
control of
everything
some
about
units?
them. Maybe Morrigan
throw
visited
you
city after
control
city and
of
told
the
all of the
backup
leadership that
force.
she could find about them
And you
for
want me
this
to
past decade.
hold off their reinforcements?
As we get closer to the trap, Davrin
So, yeah.
reveals that he's ready to sacrifice
Alright,
himself in
I
order
shall
to kill the
try.
archdemon. I'm honestly surprised that the writers remembered
just
that that was a
hover over the
requirement.
units that you
Davrin,
want to select.
we've heard
There's
of
bottom
differences,
and
but
below
you
your
have
character
one
icon says
respect
gift
for
units.
making the sacrifice.
What fucking differences? I've literally never seen or heard these two argue about anything whatsoever. It doesn't matter. As much as I would love for this game to kill Davrin off right now, it won't
Oh,
happen.
okay, so, yeah.
It'll be, shit, I would say one of the two warden lovers because that's sad, but I bet it's the first warden who shows up all pissed off and proves that
There
he's
you
still
go.
a good guy despite being short-sighted. So we trap the archdemon by hoping that it lands on a very particular small square, thus setting off the trap. What a terrible device. But it works, and
We're
everyone
not being
claps
too
and
bothersome,
cheers.
right, Q?
Yeah, I guess
Nah,
these
it's
guys just
fine.
happened to get done killing off
Alright.
their respective darkspawn and were watching us do this.
Stand down.
Take the main force.
Hey,
Start
there he
pushing
is.
him up the hill.
But yeah, no, Gillenane pops
Actually,
out
no,
and
why am I
rips
gonna do
his
that?
fucking spleen out. So that's actually cool. I would have loved to see that happen to Davrin.
Come
Might have
push
made
down
for an
here.
actual sad moment
And they're
if done
attacking
right.
you.
Then
Wait,
again, I don't
you
care
have-
about him, so it
you
wouldn't have.
let
but,
him
you
come
know,
down the
whatever.
hill.
It doesn't matter. Sadness is
Yeah.
bad. So
They
Gillenane
lose their
transforms her
advantage.
archdemon into a
the
strange
hill, they get,
serpentine
40%
monstrosity, which I
attack
actually
bonus.
don't have an issue with.
if
I
they
want to
have
make
the
it clear
high
that I
ground.
don't mind transforming or adding to lore if it does make sense, and in this case, they've made it clear that these guys are the creators of the Blight and should be able to do shit like this.
What would you guys
So cool,
actually-
no problem. What follows is the actual problem, as we've now been told that this Hydra-like creature is the
Damn,
real
son.
archdemon.
You should-
With the first warden out of the picture, it falls to Davrin to kill this thing. And he does, but he doesn't die. What a twist. Like, why even bring up the idea that killing an archdemon will kill the warden too? You're halfway through trampling all of the other established lore. Why
shall try
pause
my
for this
best
bit
to
of
keep
trivia
these
now
units
just
alive,
to literally
but-
trample it also?
He's gonna kill them all. He's gonna kill them all.
Slices her with Solus's dagger, which only pisses her off.
Like I said,
So
I'm
we
gonna try to
retreat
keep
and meet
them
at the
alive,
base,
but-
which
Lies! He's gonna try to keep him alive, but as good as he tries to keep himself alive.
Okay, hold on. Now
It's
we're
his
getting...
units, and
Warden?
there's
What
4
about the
units
blood that
versus
runs through your veins?
like triple
The
that
same
number
blight
that I
Gillenane
fight.
commands so
Four,
effortlessly.
tripled four,
Just a
four
moment,
tripled. Oh, I
please.
think that's
Enough.
12.
I said there's triple the amount of numbers.
Is he
Uh-huh.
gonna say something or?
After that, whip
So
around,
the end
take the
result of this shit
fucking
show
unit.
has the group coming to the conclusion that they couldn't kill an elven god because they have a lot on their minds. Like, I swear to God, they just
Oh,
start listing
all the
their
characters are so
problems and
ugly in this
worries.
video I'm watching.
Yeah, I wanted to kill God, but you know, I found this rare artifact, and well, shit, I was thinking about that
Wouldn't
the
let your
entire
men get
time.
shot to shit though.
Maybe you guys just suck. You,
you
ever
got
consider that?
pistoliers attacking
So
your
yeah, the
left side.
objective is now to go talk to all of these people and
Grab
listen to
front
their
unit.
concerns and help ease their minds. I know I've talked about how terrible the companions are in this game ad nauseum at this stage, but you have to understand it was rare for the previous games to force you into journeying down somebody's personal concerns before you could proceed. They all had them, of course. Liliana and her confrontation of her ex-mentor and lover, Meryl and her magic mirror quest, Vivienne had her mission to save her lover, and these were all pretty much optional beyond rare moments where personal journeys tied directly into the main quest line. They were only there for you if you felt the
Okay, you
desire
should-
to explore them.
You
It's a
should
sign of
probably
good
work
writing
on
because
not
the content
pausing
is
it
there
as
for
much
those
and
who are
just
invested enough in
being
these characters
reactive.
to want to go through with these quests.
I'm working
And if you
on
choose
a
not
bit.
to, then fine. They just won't be
Too
as warm towards
micromanaging.
you. Or
Why aren't
someone
these
like
guys
Zevron will
charging?
straight up
There we go.
betray you and leave. But this new style of writing seems to miss that memo, instead going, oh yeah, people love companions. Make their personal stories a requirement to finish the game. So Lucanus is just pissed that he fucked up his shot at Gillenane. Sure, fine. Nev's issues are introduced in the best way possible through banter about how terrible she is at making coffee.
Oh no. Give Lucanus credit. It's terrible.
You need a stronger word for terrible.
So what's the coffee for?
What isn't it for? The Venatori used the dragon attack for a power grab. Now they...
You've taken the route of
Okay, what's
making
going on with
appeasing
these
your
dudes? The
companions a
light worse lights.
requirement for this
Can't get
game.
them to
Why are
charge.
you making a joke out of it?
Or
How
missile
am I
chariots.
supposed to take them seriously when they go, you know why this coffee is terrible?
All right,
Because
guys.
my city is in trouble. So yeah, I guess we need
They
to
can
help
do charging,
Minrath
that's the
this
thing.
out so that Nev is more
You gotta
They get
select them to
focused.
do
Thankfully,
melee.
she tells us that her
Oh.
contacts hate
Oh, yeah, I can
slavery,
do
so
that.
they're definitely not bad guys, thank God. Davern, on the other hand, is mad that he didn't
There we
die.
go.
Me too, buddy. Me too. But here's the fun part. I have no fucking idea what this conversation is about, because Davern doesn't go, hey, I planned on dying there and serving a purpose. I spent every
I was holding
waking
them off,
moment
going,
ready to die and be at peace because I
I'm
have
holding 'em.
immense depression.
If you need to
Or
start retreating,
the
you
calling
can.
that courses through my veins and causes me to have nightmares
everything's
of
going all right over
Darkspawn
here,
are
so-
literally driving me crazy, and I was finally ready to end it all. Instead, he just goes, ah, fuck, I didn't die.
The
that
ogre bulls are
sucks.
fighting
Like,
4
this
fucking
conversation
units
doesn't have
right
any
now.
sort of baseline emotional
they doing
issue
it?
with Davrin. It just
They're whooping
dances around
ass.
them. Did he have depression? I don't know. Maybe he did. Does he
I
have
think they would.
survivor's guilt? Potentially.
Yeah.
But hey, let's not talk about that yucky stuff. Let's make a joke about being a truffle hunter.
A great
You
warden
might need to
kills an
send
archdemon,
more men
they're
over
supposed
here.
to die. You'll raise a song to
Alright,
create a world where the light outshines the darkness.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. That will require a lot more gingerwort truffles.
The ogres just broke.
Anyways, we talked to Solus and he's like,
The rest
yeah,
are
just
gonna
piss
fall
them
short.
off and they'll come to you. Right on, glad we're on the right track. So we go back to Poor Town and learn about some crime syndicate leader being kidnapped by the Venatori. I know what you're thinking, but crime is bad. Wrong. Crime is bad when it hurts innocents, but these guys are good guy crime guys. You know, there's a reality where this game is a well-written addition to the series, and I launch into a tangent about who these guys really are, what they stand for, how they mingle with the other groups of the city, and so on. But in this script, they're just good guys who do crime. So yeah, we find the leader, he's being possessed by a blood mage, we stop the possession, and Docktown is... I don't know, I guess it's the same as it's always been. But here's the kicker. Doing all of this allows you to romance Nev again. Like, the game tells you that it depends on your previous choices, but I think unless you're going out of your way to call her slurs or whatever, you're good to strike up romance again.
Yeah, this is
So
rough.
there really are no consequences at this stage. I don't like feeling bad, and the devs made it their top priority to ensure that that is not the case, thank God. I mean, imagine if this were some crazy string of side quests that I could miss out on. That would be nuts. Thankfully, it's a main quest, making it impossible to miss the reignition of this romance string. Whew. Next up, we're required to go hunt down Davrin's Gloomhowler. We don't succeed at that since there's a very
Okay, the
distinct
ogre
pattern to these
bulls
companion-oriented quests. Meet
recovered.
with them
They're
once,
no
do
longer
a small
routing. I'm
quest,
just putting them
confront
back in
their
the
big bad
combat.
evil guy, and then finally
Hell
kill it
yeah.
on a separate quest. Davrin's is mandatory, and we've
so
already
did the
met with the thing
Corsairs.
when it took the Griffins, but we're
I'm
still
moving
not
my
at the kill
Great
stage.
Axe infantry
Derek
up.
says that it will take a miracle to save the Griffins, but that was never not going to happen. After this, we fucked around enough for the Treviso dragon to show up again, this time in the Miyazaki swamp.
Wise Haupt left people terrified. No one signed up to fight gods.
No, of course not.
I'll
The
try.
Warden signed up to fight malicious,
Trying with what
terrifying
limited
dragons
troops
that
I
cause
had.
hundreds of
You got a
thousands of
couple coming up to help
monstrosities
you
to
now.
run rampant across the lands.
Yeah.
Fighting elven gods is
If you're-
scarier
if we're
than
about
that.
to lose
I
units, just pull 'em
completely
off.
understand. I don't know why I'm commenting on this game's dialogue
Can't really
anymore.
stand
It
it,
feels
dude.
like
Can
it's
do a
been written
charge.
by AI that has been fed the script of every major Hollywood action blockbuster of the last 2 decades. So we go to fight the dragon, and either my gear is good or I'm somehow over-leveled because this thing does go down almost instantly. Gillenane shows up to bring in the other dragon, and then we gotta fight 2 dragons, shockingly enough. The crows show up and go, huh, anyone order a ballista? Everyone cheers and we kill both dragons. The game tells me that the crows are here because I helped them, something I was painfully unaware of until now. Gillinane goes, well, shit, I'm just gonna reanimate them again. It's what I do. And Rook responds by going, huh, anyone order a ballista? The Elven God gets taken out by a projectile weapon, reminding me of a particular Game of Thrones Season 8 scene.
Like you won
Which
the battle
definitely
of
tracks
your
given
lords
the parallels between this
just
game's
random
writing and the
fuckers.
later seasons of that show. Before we can kill Gil, though, Elgernon shows up and freezes everyone with time magic or some shit.
Lord.
The two
Like,
look
she
at
just
each
killed
other
him.
and go, alright, so we've got shit to do in the forest
Well.
now. The forest. Don't
Holy
come to the
shit, hey.
forest.
I might
no
have
time to kill you
saved
people who
your battle.
just almost killed one of us.
You held him off.
We gotta go to the
Only 500
forest.
losses. That's not too bad.
Bye.
And most
You
of
know,
them were probably
Standard great writing all around as we've come
I mean,
to
you were
expect
fighting
and
with the least
enjoy.
amount, so.
From here, the
I was-
Venatori
I
show
was
up and
fighting, like,
kidnap some
10
veil
units
jumpers
with
in the
4 guys.
forest. So we disguise
oh boy,
ourselves
golly.
to blend into
and I
their
put
ranks.
the fucking hurt on him.
Make sure you split up. You don't want to draw attention.
This has transcended beyond bad fan fiction and has now hit maximum velocity to become something even further beyond. It's like someone clockwork oranged every movie trope into the writer's eyes and told them to go create a game. So we walk through this fucking cavalcade of people dressed like shit and they don't bat an eye. They do talk about Rook though.
No. I mean, think about if we could turn them.
I appreciate your sacrifice, Dago.
Head of Devinter's vast.
I don't know if it was
Good thing I look like any other person here. It would be fucking crazy if these guys knew to look out for a big
Oh, they
whatever.
retreated. That sucks.
So we wade through the crowd. Me,
They're
a
fucking hurt,
Kunari,
I know
a
that
woman
for
with
sure.
a signature
They did
peg
kill their
leg
lord,
that is
too.
literally never addressed, and the one guy who would definitely blend in. Maybe he's doing all the work for us. The Dragon Age dragon shows up, we fight a bunch, and the whole way Elgernon is giving us the old mind whisper technique.
Your fight is futile. My Venatori are legion.
That's your army looking
Legion?
rough.
What a banger line, dude! First of its kind, this game. So we run through the fog trap. Solus uses the thinning veil to talk to Big Elg. We make it to the imprisoned Dalish and free them. Thank fucking Christ
Hey,
that
I'm sending
big-ass
my
dragon
armies
that's
up
within
to-
eyesight is busy dunking its tail in water because it would, without a doubt, kill
I'm taking
everyone
the
here if
settlement
it were
first,
capable
though.
of moving.
It's gonna take
Like,
me a turn.
why is the game
accomplish.
structured this way?
But
You know what would
you
make
got them on the
Elgernon a much
ropes,
better
and I
villain?
don't Are
If
you
he
at
goes,
war with these
"Oh,
guys?
I know where you are,"
They
and
confederated.
sends his dragon to
since
kill
they
every
confederated
prisoner
with
here,
another
maybe even a
Kislev army.
companion or
They were
someone
very
close
unhappy.
to us
They were
in
very
some way.
unhappy with me, but
I
they're
mean, come
not at war with
on,
me.
give us some
Okay.
stakes, some reason to play this game beyond the gameplay.
I don't imagine they'd be
It's
very.
like
You might have to
this
kill all
game
your
feels
other
like it was
Kislev buddies.
designed for the person playing it to be scrolling their phone at the exact
That's
same
what it
time. It feels like
sense.
the cutscenes were structured to be background noise while you do something else. As you
How
can
goes
imagine,
the
it's time to
arting?
talk to Solus again after all of this.
More like
After seeing what
farting.
you've been
Where we
able to
are,
accomplish,
okay.
he respects you now, which the game helpfully
well, we
tells
probably
you
oughta
in
save it
case the
then.
words "I was wrong
Probably
about
chill
you,
here for a
you're
little
actually a
little bit
great
longer.
leader" weren't fucking
Ah, so
obvious
you're
enough.
It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion.
If the elves all had
You
the
not wanna
personality of a
continue
finely
this?
polished brick, I'm
know?
sure it would have taken you a month to befriend them also.
Let's stay until like
The best
9.
part to come out of all of this is once again when
I don't
Solus
know
talks
when that
about
is.
the previous game and
30
the
minutes.
connections that he formed with
Plus
the
30
likes of
minutes.
the Inquisitor, Cole, Josephine, and Cassandra.
Oh, 10 minutes.
I mean, nothing
Dang,
more
started that
comes
late.
of it, but it is nice
Dun,
to
dun.
hear about that game.
Dun, 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 dun.
So the plan now is to, I don't know, go kill God, but this
You
time
gonna
for
go to
real.
bed at 9
found
when
the
you have an
gods
hour
before.
stream?
Not without help, we didn't.
You didn't fucking get
Oh,
help
that
last
would,
time.
it
They
would
told
be
you where they were
reasonable.
going.
Let's see
I guess
how
if you
far I
count that
can
as help,
get.
maybe if we go back to where we last saw God. Wait, hold on. We just left an angry elven god on top
mean, the
of a
fact that I even
gigantic fucking
managed
dragon
to
in the
do
woods
the
where one of our
sketches.
greatest allies reside.
Fine enough for me.
What's he doing now? Brooding? Did he go, drat, I guess you guys win this time? I
He's
mean,
impressive.
the veil jumpers are they're
done
right
with
up
your
the
turn?
road. If he wanted
You want me to back
sacrifices,
you
he
up
could
in
just
the
go there.
settlement?
I mean,
If you
whatever.
want to.
Our plan is to meet with the
AKA
Inquisitor
plus,
and,
fuck yeah,
I
help
don't know,
me.
some Antivan crow or another. We meet with the
Are
Inquisitor
you
first,
taking
and he
that
goes,
settlement?
I once called him by
No,
another
I'm
name.
just sitting here.
No, I'm at the settlement
Dallas.
below.
I don't know about you,
I'm at
but my
Wolfenburg.
hands hurt from clapping.
I thought this was you.
This waste of time turns
That's
out
my
to be a waste
assassin.
of time because the Inquisitor
your
just called
assassin.
us over to gossip about our companions, and that's the entire quest. Works for me. Let's go see what the League of Ordinary Men are up to.
I can't believe you're
That's your
defending
army over
them.
there.
Jacobus.
My cousin died.
Jacobus.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be
Well,
close enough
now
for you
that
to beat.
that unpleasantness is dealt with,
A chance to find your gods and to free them.
how
Next
do you
turn's
know
when I'm
it's
gonna
for real?
take this
Their
castle.
information is real.
And you didn't share this with me, Rook of Iago.
Good
Where
luck,
do you
Rook.
plan on expanding, Taka?
I think I haven't decided yet.
So the informant who knows how to get to the gods is this fucking guy.
I promise. I'll signal when
Are
it's
you
time
ready
to
to
fight.
end your turn?
It's real quick and done.
Strange way to ambush someone.
I don't have to.
Hello,
ambush
Joseph.
anyone.
We're in another VC, me and Taco.
If this was a phone call, I'd yell, and me!
Probably the best designed
It is a
person
phone
in this
call.
entire game. This dude
Wait,
looks
can-
like
can
an
Joe hear?
absolute menace.
Probably
Like if
not.
I shut my brain off,
Mm.
this is fucking awesome.
Which isn't
Look at
Frank
this
just muted
dude.
his mic.
You live in a casino. Let us make a game of this. I will become what the gods want. Welcome their whispers. Meet me and show me if the crows deserve my city.
This is unironically the best thing this game has done because it at least tries to explain why the Antam leaders broke away from the Qun. Oh wait, no, they broke away well before the Elven gods popped out of the hyperbolic time chamber to corrupt them. Whoops. Well, at least the guy looks and sounds cool, which is the best thing that we can possibly hope for at this stage. Just hype
You've gotten
moments
quite a
and
lot
aura.
done on that sketch for as long as you've been working.
I mean, considering it's been an hour.
When I tried to leave,
I don't know.
Pretty good
he used
working
that
speed.
strength on me. A
Not
little
for anyone
Thanksgiving
normal.
supper, and my husband went to sleep.
Wait,
and
wait,
never
wait, wait, wait.
awakened.
This game
Improvement
is
is
a
what you should be
fever
celebrating.
dream.
I,
We go fight this guy.
Yeah,
but it turns
imagine
into a
if
big
by the
gaming
end
thing,
of
so
these
that's no fun.
100,
The
I
governor
don't know.
guy
We'll
from the
see how
scene
I am
before
by the end of
turns out to be a
5.
traitor or something. I don't
If
know.
I could see some
I gave them
improvement,
an
it'd be
inch
nice.
So they would not take a mile.
I mean,
Turns out that
there's definitely
Treviso is running on
an
the
improvement.
Imperial measurement system. I don't know what to do with that information, but I think that it means that foot-long subs are back on the menu. What the fuck am I talking about? I think I went fucking nuts at this point in the fucking script. But yeah, for some reason this guy that we've never seen, heard of, or witnessed in any capacity until this quest is, I don't know, a nuisance that we can take care of before going off to fight the gods. But I'm not gonna do that because holy shit, I've finally reached the end of this game. The relief that I felt when seeing that kind of felt like I made it through a natural disaster. Or like, a big shit. There's one last thing to get into before heading to the end, and that is that there's quite a lot of quests and objectives pertaining to Solus's memories, which you think would have been by far the most interesting part of the game given that it directly ties to a pivotal character from Inquisition. But it's about as botched as everything else, because again, the infrastructure is good, but the details and responses are not. Basically, Solus led his charge against the other gods who turned to the Blight for more power. He pleaded with his lover Mythal to convince the others to knock it off, and it wound up getting her killed, which isn't a terrible story. But here's what we get to listen to during the unfolding of said story.
So they were doing it.
That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Nah, they were doing it.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solus says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
It's like a terrible mystery science theater. I'm a detective, where's the lead? I'm a warden, the Blight is bad. I'm a quirked up NB, they're totally boning. Like, what prompts me to continue listening to this story unfold? I just had no desire. It's not worth wading through a septic tank for a tiny flake of gold. So this whole final mission thing kicks off with a meeting with Morrigan, who continues to have hair right in front of her eyeball. My guy's like, well, the gods have to wait until an eclipse in order to forge a new Fade Dagger in order to rip open the veil, and that's not gonna happen for another month. Then they just make an eclipse happen with magic. It does look cool though. Visuals are killer as always. We head back to the lighthouse and get the opportunity to chat with our romantic partner of choice. In my case it was Harding, purely because she lands smack in the middle of aesthetically pleasing and not as annoying. I mean, it helps that they really beautified her between this game and the last. In the last game, she looked more like a person. In this game, she looks more like a character. Plus, I mean, she's the only one that could give a mean dwarf job, and who am I to pass on that?
I can't stop thinking about the moon. They moved the moon, Rook.
The writers are really going down swinging on this one. Their entire goal seems to be to get me to regret my decision. And to top it off, no dwarf job, just dwarf poverty, I guess. So I go to Varric instead, but he's a figment of my imagination. He never existed, it was all a dream, and my guy is actually blackout drunk in Orlais. Can't say that I've ever played a game that had me hoping for a Final Fantasy X ending. So we invade the beach of Normandy, except since we had all of our allies cause problems all at once, the beach of the island where the world-ending ritual is happening is left unguarded, and we somehow slipped past an entire fleet of Antom because we're just one boat or some dumb shit. I know it's late in the game for this kind of talk, but I really can't help myself. Imagine if just for once the devs went full realism, or as close as you can get with this kind of ordeal.
It is.
The game you can upgrade allies
I feel
so
like
that
it should
their
be
strength
Wednesday.
reaches a certain star
It doesn't?
rating from 1 to 3. I have
Feels like it's a
one
Tuesday.
3-star ally, 2 2s, and the rest are 1s. So not great
What
stuff
vibes
overall.
correspond to
Now imagine that
Tuesday in your
We
mind?
go to slip by the fleet, and all hell breaks
That's a good
loose.
question.
They spot us right as
the
we're approaching the
days have felt
shoreline
very
and start
short.
firing on
How
us
about that?
relentlessly. Lucanus loses
The
his
days
arm,
feel very
Nev's
short, maybe it's 'cause
peg
you're getting a lot
leg
done.
detaches, Tosh is blind in one eye from shrapnel. Balara
point,
manages
yeah.
to stop everybody's bleeding as best she can with healing salves as we hunker down in a nearby cave. The group decides to push on anyway. Nev tosses on a chunk of driftwood. Lucanus can manage with one arm since he's an expert assassin. Tosh ties on an eye patch and shakes it off. We're pushing against insurmountable odds just to get to these gods, and it's clear that not all of us are going to make it out of this alive. I'd like to think that even if I didn't have a firm attachment to these people, that a scene like that would at least move me a little bit. It'd make this group feel like genuine heroes, like the stakes are truly at their highest point. It's why Mass Effect 2's ending felt as dire as it was. What we instead get is an easy landing and a little chat on the shoreline. You can choose to send Davrin or Harding off to lead a splinter group, of which I chose the former because Davrin owes me a goddamn death. Alright, game time. We sprint from the bottom of this island to the top. There's still treasure along the way, so there's some kind of post-game, but who gives a shit? Actually, there's a reason for this treasure. It actually upgrades a lot of the stuff that you had already, which effectively makes grinding for it throughout the game near useless. I mean, when I came into this, I had grinded out like, I don't know, 3 or 4 legendary items, top grade, and then the rest were purples. And by the end of it, everything was legendary. So, kind of made the effort on that worthless. I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have got as many if
Lightest
everything
Bright
was
says,
just blues or something.
"Greetings."
I don't know. But yeah, all the treasure that I get
Warmest
here seems to be stuff
greetings,
that I
my
just
dear
missed.
Bright.
So
How
I
are
guess
you
that's
doing
cool.
this
My
evening,
pathing looks
dear?
like this at this stage, just because I don't really care to follow the linear path. The Antom
Lightest
hired
Bright
human
says,
mercenaries, which will
"I'm
do
alive."
anything for gold, as I Captain America
Hmm.
sliced them in half with my shield.
Well,
A big guy with
better
a
than
big
the
name
alternative.
and a big health bar shows up and he dies in 3 hits, so I crank the
Lightest Bright
difficulty as
says,
high as it
Hi,
will
Bright.
go at
"Life's
this
kinda
stage,
shit
which
RN,
doesn't change
but we're
too
still
much.
trucking."
The entire way up, Rook continues
Like, your
to
life
research
still has
what's
so
happening as it
many
happens, making sure
years
that
to
the player
go
knows
and
that the
go
gods are
through.
Lightest
trying
Bright
to
says,
end
You
the
don't know
world.
what direction
Hi,
it'll
Taco.
We had a
go.
little
You don't
tooltip
even know what
rocking up at the
direction it
same
could go
time,
tomorrow.
just to hammer the point home.
Play.
Speaking of, Elgernon broadcasts across the
Hi.
island telling everyone
Play.
that he intends
Joe,
to
me,
transform
you.
the world and every
I
being
can't.
in it.
I'll be
The
there in a little
Antom
bit.
seem to be on board
Lightest Bright
despite
says,
being a
Waiting on
faction
you.
and race
That
of
was
people
Taco's
who
voice,
should
right,
really
slash.
agree
An hour.
with that, but we're long past that.
You got home pretty early, didn't
Lightest
you?
Got
Bright
Frank
says,
and Taco here.
"Oh, hi, Frank."
Bright says
He doesn't
hi.
see or hear us, so we're good.
Hi, Bright.
Unfortunately, we're once again
Bye,
born
Q.
to shit and forced to
Bye,
work. We have to take out
Frank.
every dark spawn in sight in order to progress
I'll be
throughout
there in
these
like
areas.
five
Lightest
The
Bright
minutes,
fortunate news
says,
is
10
that
minutes
we
at the
get
most.
gentle
"Y'all can't
reminders
be
about
waiting
our
on
soul
me."
10
throughout
minutes,
the way
10 minutes
to
ago.
soothe us from these horrors.
You said at
Well, I'll be
9.
there in 5 minutes.
Now that to stop the
All
gods
right.
from finishing their dagger. I'll take the rest of us and get to the gods before they finish
Lightest
their dagger
Bright
or cut
says,
open the fade. We kill
"Y'all
her,
aren't in a VC I
take
can
the god's
join,
dagger,
nerds."
The gods finish their
Well, I
dagger,
Yeah,
better
we're in our
go
D&D
fade, and
VC.
unleash all the blight. We're getting closer to where the gods are making their dagger. Gods might be close, but they'd be gloating if they
Lightest
finished
Bright
their
I
says,
can't stay for this.
therefore
Should
it'd
end
be
the
a
stream and
silly
go to bed.
place to wait for me.
Marvel.
Lightest Bright says,
Lucanus,
what?
the dagger.
Lightest
Laura
Bright says,
thankfully gets elf-napped after we have her
MFRIMAE
solve the
Taco.
Sound gay.
Rubik's Cube to get to the next part of the game. Davrin and Lucanus fuck off to do their own tasks, which sucks because I actually took the time to upgrade Lucanus.
Are you gonna go to bed?
But whatever. the
Maybe.
dwarf with the
I'm trying to
skin-tight,
remember
oven-crusted,
this
fat-ass
one
supersuit is good enough for me, I
manual
guess.
I read.
This
It's
is
the
just
one
for the
that
fight
had
with
the
Big
really
Bill, who
cool
traps
scenes
everybody
of the
in
guy
3 layers
raising
of
a giant
indescribable
snake.
glue instead of just killing them. As we free them one by
Why
one,
are you
her
trying to
health
find it?
depletes, and the ensuing cutscene.
It's just been
well, she
playing
actually
over and
fucking
over in
kills
my
Davrin.
mind.
Literally the best scene in the
Fair
game.
enough.
And the game makes sure that you know that by telling you in the sidebar that Davrin has committed honorable Subaru. And his fucking griffin follows him, so that thing's dead too, I guess. Well, that was a fucking waste. But good enough for me. Probably means that Harding would have gotten the business end of these tentacles had I chosen her to lead, so we dodged a bullet there. I'm owed a romance scene. This whole ordeal causes Rook to go through a crisis because he apparently never thought that somebody would die.
Alright,
Me too,
well,
buddy. I'm just as surprised.
I told Frank I'd be
The
over
big
there,
plot
so I
twist
gotta
makes
go.
its debut, and Varric is
Okay,
revealed to have
well, I
been dead this
appreciate
entire
you
time.
sticking
I feel like
around.
if people had acknowledged
y'all
him
had fun
talking throughout the game,
playing.
it would have been a lot less obvious.
I'll still
I
be
will.
Because then you could
in
just
the
flash
stream,
back to
though.
those conversations and show what
Okay.
they actually
Yeah, I
said.
gotta go to bed
Rook's
soon.
trauma warping their words so that they acknowledge Varric. As things stand, the guy hardly ever talked. And
Thank
when
you
he
for
did,
hanging
no
out
one
in
said
VC.
jack shit to him.
No
As we
worries. I
fall
gotta
into
go.
the
I gotta.
pit of
Maybe
despair,
this
Solus
tutorial
reveals
is
that he
too
was waiting
hard.
for this
I don't know.
moment, that he gained Rook's trust so that he could
Mm.
capitalize on this shattering of his psyche and use it to swap places with
Too
him
hard.
when the time was right. Again,
Uh,
it's the best
the-
plot point in the game
It's
so
the
far.
manual that I'm
It only
looking
took
for.
the entire game to get to it. It's exceedingly difficult to have gone
Alright,
through the
we'll
Veil
talk
Guard
to you
talking about it
later.
the way that I have, and then get
Mhm.
face down with a scene that
Well, I guess maybe not
genuinely
later, I'll be in
does
stream, so.
everything as right as it can. It feels like a very strange march through the shades of a game that could have been, but wasn't. Rook plods through this elven prison, confronting his own buried feelings, his regret for bringing Balara with him and potentially getting her killed, even further regret for actually getting Davrin killed, and of course the most regret for Varric, who he had to try to fill the shoes of for the entire game. It's a genuinely good scene, one that results in Rook facing his buried emotions and finding his way out of the god's cage with some help from his friends. Like I said before, supposedly the focus from the writing team was directed towards the bonds that you've created with your companions, and this scene encapsulates those efforts at the very least. But I would argue that there was a bigger focus that might have been inadvertently weaved into nearly every facet of this game. Rook is the hero. The biggest, boldest, most important hero that we've ever seen. I may disagree with the concept, but it is what the writers focused on first and foremost, even if they didn't mean to. And with that in mind, I would argue that this entire ending sequence could have been more effective if they had further exaggerated just how powerful Rook has become. If his realization of Varric's death led to blind rage so powerful that he ascends into being able to compete with the gods. The visuals in this game are amazing, as I've noted frequently.
Delachinestaco
Can you
says,
imagine if they had leaned full on into that anime aesthetic and given Rook a God of War wrathful kind of buff here? I mean, sure, it might not make sense on paper, but that's never stopped them from writing some of the goofiest aura-fueled nonsense to supplement the big scenes. So I mean, lean into it, stick to your strengths, and give Rook his Super Saiyan moments that will allow him to return to reality and lead his team to glory. Either way, we make it back to the lighthouse with Balara missing and Davrin dead. You get to have your final chats at last, with your companions conveniently mentioning that Varric has been fucking dead for a while now, only further pointing towards how silly it was that no one noticed Rook's lack of awareness throughout this entire journey. They all kind of mention how you helped them to sort out their own issues, which is nice, I guess, but not particularly fulfilling. If anything, mentioning stuff like Minrath's suffering and all that really only continues to exacerbate this game's shortcomings, but I'm too tired to continue clawing at it. Of course, you can finally go have a romance scene if you want, which I guess instead of trying to improve anatomy and all that, the devs just bailed and decided to fade to black after all of these years. So that sucked. Though it was kind of funny watching my 6-foot guy with his ham-sized head loom over this tiny dwarf girl like she isn't the size of a human child. I will
Lightest
say
Bright
that I went
says,
and looked up all of the
"So what's
romance
this
scenes
game?"
after this because I was curious, and they all go
Dragon
precisely
Guard,
like this
the Veil
besides
Guard?
Tasha's, who gets completely naked and picks your guy up. Like I said, there was something blatantly and unabashedly sexual going on with the way that they were written and interact with you. Alright, so the finale of this thing has us attempting to stop both Elgranon and Solus from destroying the world in their respective ways. As of right now, the two seem to be fighting it out, which you would think would mean that we should wait until the last moment until one vanquishes the other. But nah, we're just plowing right into this thing, which actually leads to a spectacular chain of scenes. The funny part about all of this is listening to these guys go, "Man, Minrathous is such a powerful city with powerful defenses. It's gonna be tough." Yeah, until it falls in an afternoon to one dragon. Either way, you choose who goes with what group while retaining your usual two party members. In my case, one group is strong and two are weak. So I sent Nev with the strong group because she seemed like the right person to disarm barriers, and then I sent Tosh and Emmerich with the weak groups. The scenes that play out are the heavily stylized non-stop action that you would hope to see, and I had zero complaints until the very end. Because I stuck Emmerich on one of the most dangerous tasks thinking that he's fucking immortal, but he's not. He's just, I guess, immortal to old age, which does feel a little silly. It's probably my fault for not finding some kind of dialogue option where he goes, "By the way, I can still die." But the implication up until now was that he's good to live through something like this. Like, I would think that his soul could just be revived in the necropolis or something. I don't know why I'm overthinking this, I just expected Tosh to die and him to live. So yeah, I actually reloaded this more out of curiosity than concern for Emmerich.
I have a screenshot from the
The
manga.
same way that Emmerich does, they
Okay,
managed
I
to
wonder if
pop
I
out
could
and
actually
keep
find
fighting
it.
since they were better suited for scaling a big-ass colossus. And honestly, that's a pretty cool set of requirements and consequences. So yeah, we get to do some fighting, and the next scene that pops up has Harding dying because she's not suited to fight mages, I guess. I don't care to reload here, but I bet if I would've stuck Lucanus in, he
"Just
would've been
image
fine.
search."
If Harding can't take a single concussive blow, then it's a wonder that she survived the night before this.
I like how the game on I read also turned up just because one of the characters, his username, the character's username is Coral Snake.
I can't kill this guy
But
alone.
the one mono I'm actually looking for.
We must work together.
No way
This is hands
to
down
be
the best goddamn speech option in
seen.
this entire game. It embodies something that I've said throughout this entire playthrough numerous times at every turn.
Velocinistaco says,
Solus pledges to never
"It all
touch
comes
the Veil
around."
again and abandon his plan to
No
unleash the
fucking
Darkspawn and
loops.
overrun the world if you team up with him to kill Big Elg. We press in further and discover the hive mind intelligence nest that Elgranon has created to control the Blight. It's stupid, but really fucking cool because Balara actually seems to be at the heart of it, all fucked up and
For
blighted.
no reason,
That is a
Jinx
cool-ass
shows up.
visual. I ever talk about how good these guys did in that regard? Anyway, Solus transforms into the Dragon Age Dreadwolf and hops onto
There's
the
gay
Archdemon
shit
before he
everywhere.
can get renamed to the Veilguard. That leaves us to fight the Flood, which is as unimpressive as everything else. We save Balara. She goes, "Wait, you can't kill Elgranon because..." And then the Archdemon swoops in, causes carnage. Morrigan is relegated from very powerful person to person who can stop building from crushing us. We make it to a safe spot and go, "Hey, take this elven broad to the healer," before hearing what she has to say about Elgranon because... It's a secret. It's a big twist incoming. It's a big secret. This fucking script is so fucked. Now you can go talk to her right now in this sort of Mass Effect 3 last chat before the fight sequence.
I'll just have to look it up later.
And watch Lace Harding's back.
Now she's
Alright,
dead.
how much should I do?
The big secret here is that
Oh, this-
Elgranon is directly tied to the Veil. Basically, his life is keeping it in
Everything.
place, and if he dies, the Fade will spill out and kill
Pen the
everyone
spear.
anyway. Awfully convenient.
Velocinistaco
So it turns out
says,
that the god of lying
"Image didn't
was
work."
being deceitful again.
Well, it's on
and
my
knew that
phone.
if he killed
I'm
him,
lazy.
his
I'll-
plan would come
Image
to
search.
fruition
I just have
anyway.
to image search
On one
later.
hand, I would have liked to have
When
seen
I'm in
this game
bed.
play out differently and have you
Instead
more
of sleeping-
able
oh,
to
there's-
directly shake Solus's resolve. On the other hand, I actually kind of love that even to the end, Solus
Man, what the
reprises
fuck
his
did I
role as
eat?
a bastard who thinks that he knows
My
what's best
stomach
for
is
the
like
world.
all sorts of
He
fuck.
presents this very charismatic front, someone who seems genuinely remorseful for his actions, but then at every
Velocinastaco
turn
says,
he's actually manipulating
"You should
and
be on your
pulling
phone in
people
bed,
along for
bitch."
the ride so that he can get what he truly wants.
You're such a
This game
meanie.
could have been absolutely stellar. The end sequence comes at last with cinematic clashing of Solus in his Dreadwolf form and Elgernon's archdemon. Balara learns to
Velocinastaco
harness the
says,
blight in her veins to
"Shouldn't."
control bits and pieces of it. Elgernon fights you in 3 phases, now
That's also true,
blighted and
but
daunting.
see, remember,
During
I
the
don't
fight, Balara
have
seizes
trouble
control
going
of the
to
blight
sleep.
as best she can to help Solus deal the death blow to the
Velocinastaco
archdemon,
says,
rendering
well,
Elgernon
"Those are
you-
your words, not
vulnerable.
mine.
We kill him,
Yeah,
and
it's
now
not
comes the final
hypocrisy
big
because
decision.
you can't
You see, this is
you
gonna
can't
sound
sleep, so
fucking
you have to be
stupid,
extra careful.
but a
I
couple
can
hours
sleep
ago, it was
anywhere,
revealed that the Veilguard
anytime,
decided
any
to
place,
forge a
any
fake
time.
dagger for some reason.
On
I
a
guess for this
dime,
exact
as
prophetic
they say.
moment. Now, mind you, no one knew what was
There
going
is a
to happen
difference.
when we killed Elgernon. If we'd gain access to the
Velocinastaco
real
says,
dagger from Solus,
"And you don't
if
sleep."
this fake dagger
I
would
don't
ever
sleep
be
because
in
I'm
position to
not
come into play.
smart with my
And for as
time.
reactive as the Veilguard has been throughout the game, they finally decided to be proactive, and this dagger was the result. I guess it's okay. Like, again, it sounds stupid, but it's not the worst plot point, and could have been a lot dumber if it was just pulled out of Rook's ass at the end. I don't know, it's pretty dumb, but it's not like super dumb. Our standards have been lowered. Like, our bar has dropped to the fucking ground.
Velocinastaco says,
an inch up off the
"No,
ground
it's
is
cause you
like,
choose not to sleep over other
you know?
things tasked
Like,
us."
I don't know what else to tell you. This is fucking... This could be the plot
Yeah, but
point
it's
of the year.
because I
So
waste too
Solus
much
goes to
time
commit
during the
his final
day, and then I
betrayal,
feel
and
like
we get
I,
to choose to give him the fake
you know,
or the
night
real
times when
dagger.
I'm most
Obviously,
productive
you have to go with the fake one, right? And
because
the end
my
result is about as
distractions
close to
are
stellar as you could hope for.
less
With
loud.
the magic required to rip open the Fade reflecting back onto Solus and temporarily stunning him. In his final moments, Solus reveals to be somebody who's prideful enough to think of himself as better than others, but ultimately
no,
as
sorry.
somebody who is humble to the end, disappearing with one final compliment to Rook. The final scene is more or less a one-to-one recreation of Jade Empire's ending, which was really funny to me. Like, look at this.
Velocinastaco says, "He'll still bug you about it."
Yeah, there's like I'll still bug you about fasting and eating and also sleeping and brushing your teeth and flossing your teeth and etc. etc. etc.
Velocinastaco says, "Improvement by mutual bugging XD."
I mean, how else are people supposed to improve?
It's even funnier when you realize that you don't recognize a single person here who's cheering for you, but yeah, that's the end. There's no elaboration on where people went, on what they did, or how things progressed after these events. Just a nice little stylized summary of who they are and what they immediately had to contend with based off of what you did in the game. It's an ending that adequately summarizes how BioWare as a whole seems to feel about this game and series now. It's done for the foreseeable future, and there's no interest in seeing anything more from it. The whole thing left me with a feeling of emptiness. If there was a term to describe how somebody feels
Just
empty
doodling
at
some
the
hair,
end of
then
a
I'll be
really
done
good
for the night.
game, then the term that I would use now would be the exact opposite of that sort of emptiness. An emptiness at what could have been, what didn't happen, and how a series I loved wound up. Apparently that's called post-game depression, so, post-game depression, I guess, real-life depression. I don't know. But hang on, before we launch into a sorrow-fueled morning for this franchise, we gotta know what's happening with that other ending, right? Wow, this is the most YouTuber I've fucking ever been with
Velocinastaco
these
says,
goddamn edits and
"Sounds
setups,
reasonable."
huh? Well, hang on now. Let's rewind. I don't know. I might even fucking do that anymore. I think I just talked myself out of my own edit. Well, shit. So this time we go to stab him with the real dagger and the same sort of thing happens. Now I wanted to see a bad guy ending, or maybe even something that exceeds expectations and shows that Solas really was trying to create a better world with minimal casualties or whatever. What happens instead is that my companions roll out and start attacking, giving my guy enough time to stab Solas and banish him to the Fade. So it's quite literally the same ending, which, I mean, come on, just do one ending, guys. It's the most BioWare way to end this series I think I've ever seen, but it somehow still blew me away with its ineptitude. There's no point to it, no optional bonus fight, no bad ending. Actually, I did look this up, and there is a bad ending if you get as many allies killed as possible, and it winds up with Rook sacrificing himself to get sealed away with Solas. So at least there's that, but you have to actually hate this game to try to fuck up that badly. Like, this is an intentional thing, and it still winds up being effectively the same result. I just don't get it. You took the time to insert this false dagger plot right at the end like an afterthought, like it was a requirement. You threw in 3 or so endings and they all have the same results, like it was a requirement. Huh. Maybe there really was a checklist that the writers were told to push into the game, because I can't explain this shit otherwise. The only thing the not worst ending does is truly drudge over Solas's character, as this time he goes all out and screams about being a god, something that he went out of his way to refute before this. I don't know. At least there's a 4th mystery ending where your female elvish inquisitor from the previous game decides to take Solas to hell with her, and I guess that's the best ending or something. If you don't care about the previous game's Inquisitor, and why would you at this point? I mean, you might have before when you were playing Inquisition, but now you don't give a fuck about them, and you see them disappear into the fucking sunset with Solas. I guess that's a great ending. I don't know. You know, they're just sitting in this fucking desaturated, terrible place with nothing. It's like, but they lived happily ever after. They had true love. Yeah, no, they'd fucking go crazy. But no, right now it looks like a little Disney, like, ho, 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 you know, fucking off into the sunset. I don't know what that sound was, but you know. I'm just honestly surprised that this one made it in, since it confirms that Solas only has a preference for female elves, something that clashes with the preferences of this game's companions, but whatever. That doesn't really matter. The Veilguard is a game where you can see the passion in the visuals, the scenes, the voice acting, the music, the combat, the sound effects, the exploration, and yet despite all of that, it falls completely flat when stacked against the lovingly written, expertly crafted storytelling of the previous entries. It's a game that stands on its own in so many categories and yet crumbles as a video game belonging to the franchise that it's in. If you go back to the very start of this video when I outlined how the creative process went, you start to be able to read between the lines as to what happened with this game. I initially wanted to go into this solely blaming the writers. I had a firm belief that no matter your constraints, good writing can be applied to any type of game to make it flourish as something special. But this was the first game where I played through it and something felt wrong. Like, no matter what the writers did, they were forced to include this thing and that bit until they just didn't give a shit anymore. Looking at how the scope of this game changed, how it started as a completely different heist-focused project and then changed into something more multiplayer-centric with FIFA-style loot boxes and then just was forced into this Jedi Fallen Order style of game, I can't blame people for leaving. And I'll bet the ones who tried to remain weren't as happy as they were when the group was doing their damnedest to stay on the same page and spin this work of fiction into the silken gold that it's always had the capability to be. And maybe that led to those louder voices being laid off until this game was nothing but a shell to insert the latest EA action game formula into. Why try to salvage its plot and work to make it interesting if your boss is telling you that you need to put in X, Y, and Z first and foremost? I mean, this is all reckless speculation, I know that. It's easy to jump to conclusions and blame the big bad guys at the top whenever possible without actual evidence of them ruining the game. But I honestly feel like the entirety of the Veilguard tells you exactly what happened to this series without saying it directly. The art book that came out only continues to hammer this home and points towards initial ideas of having a team that doesn't like each other initially, of betrayals that occur throughout the game, of Solas taking a much more directly sinister approach, of terrible Tevinter practices being front and center. And somehow none of those interesting pieces made it into the game. I mean, what's that tell you when you see these people portraying active slavery in Tevinter, which has always been a thing? It's been a thing that's been mentioned since the very first game, and yet somehow none of that was really touched on. At least not in the main stuff and any of the companion stuff, which is the stuff I played. I guess it could have been in side quests. Still, to me that says somebody came in and said, hey, no, we're not doing this slavery thing. Don't put it into anything. And it's like, well, shit, dude, what am I supposed to do with that? We're in like the worst goddamn place ever. The best things that this game does in addition to its visuals are all a matter of convenience, and I honest to God applaud that aspect of it. Fast travel nearly anytime and anywhere, open things whenever you want to without needing certain allies or equipment, reset your build on the fly, start companion quests without needing to have the companion in the party. It's all built around letting the player have fun and get to that fun as quickly and efficiently as possible, the one saving grace to this game when paired with the pretty stellar combat system. I mean, if you look at my endgame gear and see that I collected and upgraded nearly every chunk of gear that I wound up liking for my build, it means that I took the time to go find all of that gear. Grinded for reputation, hunted for treasure, sifted through these maps, and I wouldn't have done all of that if I wasn't having fun playing the game. But I can get that same kind of enjoyment out of something like Dark Souls or Borderlands or God of War or a myriad of other action-first games with fun loot systems and map exploration. I have to circle back to this idea that I had earlier on in the video. There is a high chance that there are a decent number of people who genuinely enjoy this game's writing. They don't mind the departure from the more serious tones in previous entries or the squashing of the morally gray writing throughout the game. They enjoy the quips, the humor, the lightheartedness of it all. And I know that it's probably too late to say this now given how I've gone through this game, but that is completely fine. I'm genuinely glad that there are people who love this game and its characters, its moments, its story, and writing. If that's the direction this series continues in, then those people can continue to have fun with Dragon Age. It just won't be something that's for me anymore. I'm not going to redact any of my criticisms or obscenities because that's just how I feel as somebody who played this series for what it used to be. But I would also never criticize somebody else for personally feeling different, and I do want to make that clear. It's okay for people to enjoy things that I don't. Now, all of that said, to me this game is a bottom-of-the-barrel smoldering pile of millennial quirk, feel-good modern action movie moments, and horrendously paced
Everything I
ideas
could
that are
want to
shoved
do
down your
for the
throat
night.
at sporadic
I
intervals
have
of
done.
parroting of
It is
popular
already
choices
my
that feel as
bedtime.
soulless and unlovable as an AI writing poetry. It's the Marvelification of a
I will
franchise
aim
that
to
I
do
loved, of one that
the.
was renowned
I don't
for
know
its
if it needs a
amazing
chibi
dialogue,
sketch. Well, I guess it
fantastic
does.
player choice, and
Guess it needs a chibi
consequences
full
that
body
truly
still.
felt like they mattered. Good writing has
I'm not
bad
gonna
things
fit it.
happening that people have to
Velocinistaco
overcome.
says,
It has believable
hope you sleep
human
well, Miss
people
Rio.
with flaws and issues that
Velocinistaco
make them
says,
feel alive.
you did good work.
Being afraid to make
Thank
the
you.
player feel bad only leads to
Maybe I'll
apathy.
make it taller.
I would make a querrieoh joke, but even that morally gray stint of genius came out of Obsidian instead of BioWare. I know that people
Where
have
the
been
fuck is
saying
that
old
chibi going?
BioWare is dead and gone for a very long time, but I never truly felt that until this
Velocinistaco
game.
says,
Yes, even when I was playing Andromeda, I at least felt like
I
there
need to
was
fit a
some
full
kind of
body
spark
in here
still there.
somewhere.
It was just very muddled. And maybe that's just hopeless optimism on my end. Maybe I would have felt the same way had Andromeda piggybacked straight off of Shepard's story. But the Veilguard was the final nail in the coffin for me with all of my wishy-washiness and blinders to the
Velocinistaco
truth.
says,
Actually, you
that's
could probably
gonna be a
justify
tight
a
fit
lot of the
XD.
ways that I felt just based off of when people left the company, but whatever, it's not worth it. I was going to end the video here, but as it happens, a news article broke about the internal process that went down leading up to the Veilguard. It's a Bloomberg article, so I had to pay for it because somehow EA being involved makes everything a microtransaction. But it actually confirms much of my speculation, and I want to share key parts of it.
If I make it even
Yes,
wider,
Dragon
I
Age
guess I can
pivoted
fit it
multiple
in the
times,
middle a little
including
bit.
to and from a live
That'll look
service game.
weird. I'll have
The
to
missing
rethink this a
information
bit.
there involves a writing team who was directed to
I already
make a
sketched
fun,
it, so you're
lighthearted,
goddamn
campy
sure that I'm gonna
game in
fucking
order
draw
to
it.
suit the
But
tone of live service. This remained the same even when the course was eventually shifted back to a single-player story. Meanwhile, the developers were given minimal resources and told to get the game out as soon
Velocinistaco
as
says,
possible.
XD.
What this meant was that they were aiming to release in 1.5 years after 2020. But EA kept delaying the deadline and giving them more time, and by the time they got that extra wiggle room, their story decisions couldn't be revamped at the drop of a hat. Furthermore, a large chunk of the Mass Effect team was brought in to help finish the game, and this one was really funny to me because that team describes the Dragon Age team as a pirate ship with a lack of focus that eventually gets the job done. Meanwhile, the Mass Effect team is described as rigid, top-down, and laser-focused. So when the Mass Effect team came in to help, the leadership looked at the Veilguard, scoffed, and began making sweeping decisions. And the EA execs gave him any budget increases that were needed to get things done, which was something that the Dragon Age team had to fight tooth and nail for when it came to cobbling together their projects. It bred some pretty understandable contempt between the sibling studios.
Guess when
it
we
also
come
led
back,
to some of the best moments in the Veilguard.
TV
So maybe
sketch.
the Mass Effect team was right. Their leaders
Okay.
complained directly about the snappy and snarky moments of the Veilguard, claiming that that trend is dead now, which they are 100% right about. Seeing as this tone was initially pitched
Somewhere
for
right here.
Dragon Age during the heyday of quirky dialogue and media, and then fell out of favor by 2024, the Mass Effect team was correct in their assessment. However, their full takeover of the game led to the inconsistencies in tone that I lamented throughout this video, and that makes declaring their interference as a good thing that much harder to do. So there you have it.
I'm
This
gonna have to
game was
really
never
rethink
going to
this.
succeed with the
Or
way
maybe
that
I
it was
make
managed.
the
And
feral
after a decade
version
of failures
a
from BioWare,
ear
it's difficult
goal.
to see the developers succeed from here on out too.
Because it has to also fit within a square boundary.
This one took as long as it did because I had to force myself to play the game most of the time. Hopefully I'll be moving on to something better from
The
here.
Lockinestaco
Until then,
says,
though, I have a Twitch
that
where
makes
I've been
sense.
starting to
Because
stream
on
again
the
Tuesdays and
on the
Fridays.
auction
I
site
have
where
a
I'm gonna
Twitter where I
auction a
tweet out new
character off,
videos.
and
I have
all
a
the
Discord where people
thumbnails
hang out in the meantime,
for the
and I
images
have a
are
Patreon.
squares.
And that's it.
So if I want, to
Have a good one.
optimize the image to, make sense, I need to be able to fit it within a square.
Nev Gallus.
The year was 2012,
Lockinestaco
and
says,
BioWare was flying high off of the success and near-universal acclaim across the board of Mass
But
Effect
it has to
3,
have a
even
full
with its
body in it.
backlash regarding the ending. Rather than loosening up and taking a breather, the developer decided to take this momentum and add 2 more projects
Okay, I
to
may-
their workload on top of the already in-progress Dragon Age Inquisition. Of course, piling this many projects
suppose
onto
I
the
make
same
the
studio
full
at the same
body-
time would make things
The
Okay.
Lockinestaco says,
so the main
put the
studio
ferrule
decided
between
to
their heads,
start hammering
LOL.
away at a project that they internally named Dylan, in the hopes that it would be
You put
talked
the
about
ferrule
years
like a
The
tiny little
Lockinestaco
thing.
says, Tetris.
Yeah, but it's gotta be good looking Tetris.
The other project was shipped over to BioWare's Montreal studio, where a load of developers who were specifically fans of Mass Effect were hired to work on, well, Mass Effect. Much like what happened with
Maybe
Dragon
like
Age
this.
Inquisition, the immediate focus with
Maybe
Andromeda
the
was
full
on
body
open-world
first.
exploration, which was a point that was heavily publicized just before release.
Gotta go check my
The difference here
references.
was that while Dragon Age had always been about following relatively linear paths and contained zones, Mass Effect did have the beginnings of what could be considered open-world exploration with its Mako planetary missions in the first game. And the developers seemed to run with that, making their interviews about how exploring is the heart of Andromeda. A warning sign
I would
that
have to
portrayed a
make
very
him
strong
face
shift
the other
away from the
way.
narrative-first roots that the series
I wanted to
encompassed
do that.
prior.
I don't know, like the general
The focus
rule
for
is
the
that
first
if the
years of work
character
on
is
Andromeda was
facing
the idea that
one
procedurally
direction,
generated planets would be a really
then
neat
like if the
concept.
character is
That
facing to
really
the
neat
right,
concept was
the
scrapped
biggest
by
version has to be on the
2015.
right.
And somehow BioWare made yet another game where
Yes.
the vast majority of it was
And
completed in a
then-
year and a half instead of the 5 years that it seemed to take. So the devs decided to pivot. Whereas Skyrim was the primary motivator for Inquisition and Andromeda's open-world exploration, The Witcher 3 heavily influenced BioWare's new approach, with the developers attempting to make the majority of their side quests memorable. The new team hoped to take less of a dire doom and gloom approach to the game's story, and decided that they wanted the players to feel free to focus on side questing without feeling like they're goofing off while the galaxy is being razed by Reapers. It's again another really big indication of how BioWare has developed their games for a long while now. The developer tends to bend over backwards to try to ensure that what they're being criticized for doesn't happen again, instead of just acknowledging criticism and making subtle adjustments. And oftentimes this line of thinking leads to BioWare crippling the ideas that they're usually best at. Or maybe they just say that they're listening to their fan base when their initial ideas go up in smoke. Of course, this was right around when BioWare was still struggling with the Frostbite 3 engine, which continued to drive the dev team crazy while they attempted to mold it into a game genre that it was never designed for. As the months marched on into years, the entire process caused quite a large chunk of the dev team's leadership to quit, including the director of the original Mass Effect trilogy and several other senior members in important roles.
Guess I just
But the game was
teased one
eventually
of
pushed
them.
out in March of 2017, with EA deciding that it would be a fun idea to release the first 10 hours of the game as part of their EA Access program.
This is next generation. This is what it looks like. Like, some of the textures and characters look better in 3.
Don't worry. I majored in glad handing during Pathfinder training.
I wrote in my preview, I think they kind of look like Sims 3 era Sims.
Focus defenses here and here. The cat have been quiet for too long. See? No reason we can't be civilized.
Clan Knackmore will pay with blood.
Interestingly enough, one of the biggest glaring issues that Andromeda was critiqued for was awful face animations along with things like walk cycles or quick movements looking awkward. These are issues that either weren't present or weren't prevalent enough to be noticed with Inquisition's release, causing me to wonder if the focus on combat AI, battle environments, and open-world exploration were to blame for the animation's suffering. But regardless, poor reception and mediocre scores greeted Andromeda's release like a plague. And that was the last bit of attention that I personally decided to pay the game. Until I started a YouTube channel and decided to start talking about the original trilogy. I never had any intention of playing this game. I would have been completely fine if I hadn't, and would have patiently waited to see if they fucked up the next iteration of a franchise that I love. And yet, here we are. I think the only thing that really drove me into making this video was random people popping into my comments stating that Andromeda wasn't that bad, and that they actually kind of liked it. That opinion is so far and away from everything that I had heard about this game upon release, and eventually I had to know if it was just piled on at the time of release or if there was something more to it that people just refused to see. So in this video I'll be playing through Mass Effect Andromeda. I won't be hitting every side quest or seeing everything that there is to see, but I'll still head through the main quests and a good chunk of the side content to analyze its story, characters, and mechanics. Okay, so you can start out by taking one of 2 presets that the devs decided to pick out for you if you want. Or you can attempt to create something custom, leading to one of the worst character creators I've seen in recent history. Basically, your guy will always vaguely look like this no matter what you do. I do like that they named this menu Skin Sculpting though, as if you could do something more than just cycle through presets and try not to make your guy look like he's sad, mad, or confused. At least they don't let you choose where you want to place your scars or tattoos, because I definitely wouldn't want my guy to look stupid by any means. Yeah, this is the first time I've bailed on a character creator in a very long time. Hey, at least you can choose the inner and outer eye color. So yeah, classes. These are all relatively standard to the Mass Effect universe, and I'm not going to worry about going over them just because I've kind of touched on them for 3 or so videos already. Launch yourself like a comet. Well, that's all I need to know. After this, you can choose to customize your twin if you want to. I almost decided to roll a ridiculous looking clownfish for my twin, but I decided that I'd really be poisoning any chance of me taking this game's plot seriously if I did. So yeah, default quirky looking twin for me. I swear to God, I don't think I've laughed this hard at a supposedly serious menu in a very long time. There's a customize history button that has you choosing male or femshep, and that's it. I mean, really, that was the most important thing you could do in the original trilogy, so I understand it.
So each bold leap forward was achieved by the... We are, all of us, leaving behind families.
Here's a fun little thing that will happen and just stay that way unless I tab out mid-cutscene. It'll also show up during gameplay, so I wound up using a controller. So Andromeda kicks off with a US Army advertisement that indicates that you're going into the Andromeda Galaxy and attempting to find a new home or homes for humanity across various planets. You're playing as Ryder, who wakes up after 634 years of cryosleep and gets refamiliarized with the shuttle that he's on before it starts rocking around due to some kind of turbulence. Get used to seeing people with downright goofy expressions and odd smiles, because that's not getting better anytime soon. After a crew member reinitializes the gravity, it becomes clear that your twin, who was still in their coffin, got thrown around the area and is probably dead. Or worse, in a coma that we have to save them from.
What's wrong?
This game is a work of art. So yeah, Sis is in a...
Alright, yay for me.
And will be around to save me from peril at an unexpected time later. We head to the next room with our team member, the lady who fixed the gravity named Cora.
Velocinistaco says.
Panic has completely taken over the technicians here, who are screaming about something being wrong with the machinery in front of you. This sends you into the scan tutorial where you can scan different parts using your Pip-Boy. Then you also fix the unresponsive components because apparently your guy has tech that was under lock and key for 600 years. I mean, game tutorials tend to be historically not incredible, but this is pretty rough. There are dozens of scenarios that would be better than this for learning how to use your scanner. As things stand, it seems like my Explorer man was put to sleep with really high-end ship-saving technology. Either way, you suit up and meet with your dad, who's the lead pathfinder on this whole mission. This guy's easily the coolest character so far, and he takes the reins as he tries to get everything under control. What stopped the ship was some sort of unknown dark energy matter that's floating around our so-called golden world. And a cursory glance at the planet itself indicates that it isn't the same world that we set out to try to colonize. It's surface marred with some kind of black scarring. I have to admit that after all of the bullshit leading up to this point, this is kind of a fun
good
setup.
night, losers and non-losers of this world.
Leading us to getting a good look at the devastation that's unfolded in the 600 years since we departed Earth. As
tomorrow I gotta drive to the airport.
Good night, Rio. Take 3.
And Ryder
Drop
winds up
one of my
plummeting to the surface
roommates
before his
off.
jetpack kicks on. Again, it's a
I
really
gotta
cool
be
introduction after the initial less than
alone.
stellar
I mean,
beginning.
alone with another person.
So now we get to start exploring this area along with a guy named Liam, who landed near us. The dialogue between Liam and Ryder is not
Velocinistaco says.
amazing.
Man, you don't tell me anything.
Don't breathe
No.
here. Found that out the hard way.
I'm itchy. I'm gonna tell you something really important right now, okay? I'm itchy. I got bumps on every place that you can imagine that's inconvenient. Alright, my hips, my arms, probably like my thighs, like under my thighs, like the okay. I'm suffering. I'm suffering, okay? I can feel things crawl on me and I can't see anything.
Velocinistaco says.
Falling down.
I'm sorry.
I'm falling into madness. Good night.